Hi, this is Jack Buffington for HACKADAY.com. It's been a busy week around here at HACKADAY headquarters. Last week we showed a stun glove that our head of security, Vlad, has been very fond of. We built it to get rid of a group of techno groupies who have been hanging around our headquarters. Well, the stun glove did what we intended, and now no one wants to hang out with us. Unfortunately, Vlad really just didn't want to stop using the stun glove. It took to sneaking up behind us and zapping us. So a group of us got together and decided that we needed to do something about it. It took pretty much everyone we had, but we managed to wrestle that thing away from him. There's lots of screaming and yelling, and almost all of us got zapped, but we eventually got it. I just hope that he doesn't build another one. That's the news from here. This week, we're going to show you Eagle CAD. Eagle CAD is a piece of software that allows you to design PCB boards. Some of you may have in the past designed your own circuit boards and built them yourself. And pretty much everyone here has done that too, but eventually you find that you may not have the time to do that, and you can achieve better results by doing it through a CAD program such as this. Other options are Express PCB, and I believe 4PCB.com has one as well. But I've always used Eagle CAD, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's go over to the computer monitor and I'll launch up the program. When you initially launch Eagle CAD, you come to this window right here. This is your main interface for doing all sorts of things through Eagle. What we're going to start out by doing is we're going to create a new project. And we'll call this, what we're going to design today is a development board for the PIC 18F44J11. So I've created this project. Now I'm going to add a schematic to it. I've created this project. Now I'm going to add a schematic to it. We'll just save this schematic. And we're ready to get going. I'll make this full screen now. On this board, what we're going to have is the PIC itself. We're going to have an in-circuit serial programmer header. We're going to have a crystal. We're going to have an LED, a button, some capacitors, and a voltage regulator. We'll also have a small prototyping area off to one side. So let's go ahead and show how to add parts to a schematic. Over here on the left side of the screen, we have a bunch of icons that you can use to access many of the functions that Eagle CAD provides. Also, up here at the top of the screen, in this text box right here, you can enter text commands. I actually find that it's a little faster for me to enter in the text, but it's up to you what you would like to do. Okay, in the text box here, I'm going to add a part, and I just type add. One interesting thing that I'll say about Eagle CAD is you don't actually usually have to type in the whole thing. So AD, enter. Yes, that brought up the entire box here. So I want to add an LED. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to LED. And in here, there's so many options. They have so many parts in here. It can be tricky to find what you're looking for, but I found the ones that I'll be showing today ahead of time. So I've opened up LED within LED, and I'm going to use LED 3mm. And right here you can see what will be inserted into the schematic, and over here you can see what will be inserted into the PCB itself. So now I go down here and I click OK, and all I have to do is click on the screen to add the LED. Okay, if I hit escape, it brings me back here. I also want to add a 0.1 microfarad capacitor, and I can find that in capacitor Here we go, -WinMA. And then I click on C, and I'm going to choose this one, the C 2.5/2. This is a 0.1 spaced. Most of these units are here in metric, so this is 2.5 millimeter spaced, which is 0.1 inches. Going to add that, and I'm also going to add 2 capacitors that we'll need for our crystal eventually. And let's get to our crystal while we're at it. Here we go, crystal to crystal, and I'm going to pick HC49. Also, let me show you something here. If I click on one, you can kind of see what the part looks like, and if I use the up and down arrow keys, I can scroll through so I can see, no, that's not it, that's not it. This is the one that looks like it could be the one that I want to use. Now, ideally, I would verify that before I actually order my boards, which is a mistake that I've made in the past, and I didn't, and my parts did not fit, so it's something that you need to always keep in mind. So I've just added the capacitor. Now here's something that you will often have to do. I'm going to be adding a PIC 18F44J11 part to this. And there is no PIC 18F44J11 part in the Eagle library. At least I don't believe there is. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create our own part. And this is something that seems difficult, but isn't terribly difficult once you get used to the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the main Eagle CAD window here, and I'm going to do a new library, and I'm going to save this library as, today we're going to call it HACKADAY. So now we have a HACKADAY library. Here is where I have my mouse, is the device section of the editor here, and what this does is the device allows you to combine a footprint and a schematic label together to create a final part. We're going to start by creating a package. So I've clicked on that, and I'm going to say this is a TQFP-44 44 pin thin quad flat pack is what that stands for. It says, do you really want to do that? And I say yes. I'm going to expand this window. We're showing the data sheet from the PIC 18F series, and we have the footprint that they recommend, which is the pad should be 0.55 by 1.5 millimeters. Now this is just great if you're using a pick and place machine and having it assembled at a factory somewhere. If you are hand assembling this, it's often better to make your pads just a little bit longer so that you can get solder on them more easily. That's what I'm going to do here, so I'll be deviating a little bit from the recommended pad size. Hey folks, this is meant to be one video, but it ended up being such a long one that we've decided to split it into several. So stay tuned for next week when I continue on with making the custom TQFP 44 pin device. For HACKADAY.com, this is Jack Buffington, signing out.